A lot. I've spent so much money to start this YouTube channel, which I launched in January of 2019. So in today's video, I'm going 100% transparent and showing you guys how I invested my money and where I put it into, from the camera, the lenses, the lighting, the laptop, the studio, for how I built this desk, the flooring, the paint in the exact color that I've used, just everything, literally everything you need to know to start your own YouTube channel. I hope it's going to be very enlightening, and hope this video is going to be entertaining and educational along the way. I'm excited. Let's roll intro.
Please let me introduce myself.
My name is Andrei Jikh, and if you're brand new here, then welcome to my channel, and let's just begin. But first, I want to say that I was able to start this YouTube channel after quitting my job of 8 years, cold turkey, zero backup plan, because I'm an idiot. But during those 8 years of work, I was able to live really frugally and save roughly $150,000, which I invested into a stock portfolio of blue chip dividend stocks that paid me every month. But this is money that I just pretend I don't even have. It's money that doesn't exist because this is my retirement money right here. Also, this is money that I worked 100% for. This is not an inheritance. But after quitting my job, I was depressed for around 2 years, just moping around, and I had only $14,000 in my savings account left, which in hindsight, I probably should have used to pay for my rent. But instead, I used that money to invest it and create for myself the thing I've always wanted, which is just to start a YouTube channel and take a huge risk and go 100% all in. And that's exactly what I did after quitting and spending the remainder of my money to build this YouTube thing. So now let me share with you finally exactly what I spent and how I invested that money. So the first and arguably most important thing you can spend money on is your studio, because you want to make yours look cool. So this is my studio, but it's not really. It just makes me feel like a pro, but it's not. It's just a tiny thing. You can't even consider it a bedroom. It's like 7 by 10. It's more like an office space or a den or a little study hall, if you will. And originally it was just this white empty room with carpet, so I wanted to make it look spicier. And the first thing I did was I bought $250 worth of wood floor laminate, and then I hired someone and I paid them $250 to install it because I don't know how to do it myself. And in retrospect, that was a completely stupid decision, because do you guys notice anything? Yeah, I didn't think so. You can't see my floor. What was the point of doing all of that? In hindsight, that seems so painfully obvious, but I don't know why at the time. I just didn't even think about it. And what's worse is it made my videos sound worse, because when you have hardwood floors, guess what? Your voice? Echo! Yeah, I'm an idiot. Told you so. Now for painting this room, it's really important because I'm so white, I'm basically clear, which is great because as a personal finance channel, you want somebody who's transparent with their finances. That's dumb. So if I was to just film against a white wall, it would just look like this. It'd just be floating lips and a floating mouth, and that's it. But seriously, the camera just doesn't pick me up. And because of that, I need some kind of a difference of contrast behind me, and gray works perfectly. So I spent $35 on the paint and about 40 hours of my life trying to pick the perfect gray color, because there's a million of them and they don't all look good on video. Just some of them do. But if you guys are wanting to pick a gray color, I use Colonnade, I don't know how to pronounce it, from Sherwin-Williams. It's a really great gray color, very pleasing on video, so use it if that's what you want. In total, I spent $535.39 to set up the room to get ready for the design portion. And you don't have to do this for your own YouTube studio, but I highly suggest that you do, because I don't know about you, but I've learned a lot about myself creatively, and I think a lot of people can relate, but I want to spend a lot of time in a place that puts out a good vibe. So I spent quite a bit of money to make this room look unlike anything else in the house, because it looks so different from the rest of my house, which is just old and traditional looking, where like mom and dad might want to live. It's just plain white and boring, just like me. Now, the most important centerpiece of a YouTuber's video is his or her desk, which is true story, where they will spend 98% of their entire existence just situated right here. Let me show you what I mean. So the desk that you guys see right here is actually not a desk at all. It's actually a kitchen countertop that I got from IKEA, and this one is called Carlby, and it's the longest one they make, I believe, at 74 inches long. It cost $159. It's really great. It's a huge table. I don't know if you guys can tell just how big it is on video. Everything is bigger on video though. And below it, it's actually supported by 2 adjustable legs called Olafs, which is the snowman from Frozen. I was gonna say the snowman from Do You Want to Build a Snowman. On the opposite end is the Alex desk drawer unit that it's also supporting. But this table, absolutely beautiful. This one is $89, by the way, and altogether the setup cost me $278, which I think is really reasonable for what I think is like a really cool custom table. I could lay down on this table and I still wouldn't fit. That's how big it is. Also very smooth, I love it. The next important thing to me as a viewer and as a YouTuber is to make sure my background is somewhat pleasing to my audience, because if it's just a plain background like a solid white or gray color, then it's a little boring and I think it'll just put people to sleep. So let me show you what I have behind me here. So this one behind me is called the Loring Bookshelf from Project 62, and I got it from Target. It's a really good quality, but be careful when you guys order online because there's lots of different size options like 2-tier, 3-tier, 4-tier, and 5-tier. I went for the largest one because I think it looks the nicest and the most expensive, but also I'm like 3 feet tall, so this thing looks gigantic next to me. Well, I'm actually 5'7". I'm not that short. This looks really beautiful to me. It looks like restoration hardware, but without actually breaking your wallet. And this thing cost $130. You put a lot of cool trinkets behind it, make it look interesting, make it look like it's yours. Like this, for example, is a total waste of money. The total waste of money because it's actually Peter McKinnon. Yes, the YouTuber Peter McKinnon. He actually gave this to me way back in 2013. Jesus Christ, look at that. Signed it, 2013. Andrei, Spring of Life. That's what he calls my springs, which is what you do with the cards, and just looks like that. It sounds like that, but it looks cooler. This is one of the coolest things I own, by the way. This is what kind of makes me very similar to Graham Stephan, which is another finance YouTuber. We both collect very odd trinkets, and this is called the Mini Museum. And inside of it, all these little specimens that are billions of years old, and they're actually the real thing. So for example, I've got insect in amber, 40 to 60 million years old. I've got pieces of Abraham Lincoln's house. I have a raw gold nugget. I have a human brain, human skull, Apollo 11 command module foil, Titanic coal, like the craziest, coolest stuff. And yeah, no one's ever gonna notice that in the background, but I just think it's one of my most prized collections. If the house was to burn down, I'd probably reach for this first, and then my girlfriend second. Now for the studio design lights, I've actually used these ones right here. They're $300. They're the most necessary purchase that I have ever made. They're the coolest things. I use them obviously in all of my YouTube videos to light the side of my face. Just watch. Alexa, turn off the panel lights. And the second lamp you guys see behind me is the infamous black hole of physics. If you guys have seen real pictures of black hole, it's basically this lamp. It costs $90 here on Amazon, you guys can get it. And it also doesn't help that another finance YouTuber has this lamp, and that is Graham Stephan, of course, which is crazy interesting because we all got to hang out here in Las Vegas, all of us finance YouTubers, and we got to know each other, and we were just going crazy over how similar we really are. We're basically twins. We have a lot of the same personality traits, a lot of quirks, and a lot of the mannerisms, which doesn't help the fact that we coincidentally have the same lamp. I've had mine since before I started my YouTube channel, but it kind of makes sense that you see two very similar people finding themselves on similar paths with YouTube, which is such a big public platform. So it doesn't surprise me, but I have gotten comments from people saying, well, you're just a Graham copycat. That used to really bother me, but now I'm just gonna get a giant T-Rex head, place it behind my videos, while I ask people to smash the like button while I eat my avocado toast. And the last thing I bought for the studio was little finishing touches that I could just sprinkle throughout, and the first thing I bought was this little succulent tree. It was a set of 5 of these, and I thought they were gonna be about, yay tall and a little bit bigger so I could just set them on my desk, and now I've got this little tiny thing just sitting here like this. So I just leave it permanently on my bookshelf and they look really cute. This was $20 for a set of 5. Make sure you check the sizing on Amazon when you order these things. And I also have another tree. It's this 4-foot tall bamboo tree, which was $62. And then I also got a rug to put on the floor because it really helps dampen the sound and makes my voice less echoey. And for my camera combo, I've got the Sony a7 III along with the 24 1.4 G Master. I would say right now this is the best combo on the market that money can buy. I'm not gonna get myself into the debates between what is the best camera, but this does everything I needed to and more. From vlogging, I could light myself by a single candlelight and be perfectly lit. but it's not cheap at $1,400 for the lens and $2,000 for the camera body. And I also buy myself an extra $80 battery from Sony. That way I could just shoot and charge my battery at the same time to infinity and beyond, which is literally how long it takes to make my videos. And the other thing I bought for myself is that thing, which is a tripod for $72.75, I believe. It suspiciously looks like butt beads. It's not, could be repurposed for that though. And then here we have for my audio, the Rode Video Mic Pro Plus, which is an incredible microphone mounted on this arm instead of the camera, because that way it really is closer to my mouth and it makes my voice so much more crystal clear and pronounced. A lot of people don't do this, but pro tip, it's an incredible thing to do. And with the Rode Video Mic Pro Plus, when you turn the camera on, the microphone will also turn on automatically, saving you so much stress and a headache when you forget to turn your microphone on. It just does it automatically. It's not cheap either though. You can find it base brand new for like $280. I bought mine for $320 because it comes with a few more accessories, but I love my shooting package. I could not ask for anything better. But I didn't stop there because I also got myself a drone. This is the Mavic Air. It's so tiny, fits at the palm of my hand. But to be honest with you, why does a finance YouTuber need a drone? Like, what am I gonna do? Teach you about investing with an aerial point of view? But I have used this thing a couple times in my videos for like 3 seconds. Worth it for the $1,100 Fly More combo. I'm being sarcastic. In all seriousness, I'm gonna use it a lot more when I go to Hawaii this November. So for my face lights in the studio, I use a set of aperture lights, which look like this. They are pretty pricey at $278 a piece, but you can see why that is because you can actually dial it in and make it whatever you want. And right now it's bouncing off of the ceiling, and this one has this awesome honeycomb pattern grid, which basically makes it so that light doesn't spill over and makes everything look super even, because then it makes the video look really boring. But this gives it some depth and dimension because it focuses it almost like a spotlight. And one of the coolest features about it is it has this little remote which makes everything automatic. So I could be just like Harry Potter and just be like, Lumos, turn off the light. And then this one is the same one. You can channel them on different frequencies. It's super cool, very worth it, but a little pricey, but I love it. And the other set of lights I use is this little guy, which is not actually a brand of any sort. I think it was like $45 for each of these. I have a set of 2 of them. One that I keep here permanently on this little arm, and then the other one I just travel with in my backpack. But this thing is amazing because it gives me an underlight and it gives me a catch light in my eyes. It actually gives me some pop, and also it lights me underneath of my chin. That way I don't look like I have 3 chins. I wanna look all right. I don't wanna look at my videos and be like, hey. And the most important and most expensive thing you're gonna need is something to edit on. This is the laptop that I edit on, and it is the cream of the crop, the top of the line for 2019, I believe. I maxed out pretty much every spec that you can get on the MacBook Pro minus the video card. This came out to be a total of $4,600 after taxes, which you do not need because I'm an idiot and I go full idiot with everything I do. But you know what? You can get yourself a nice iMac for probably under $1,000 used at this point, and just learn how to use Final Cut Pro, because Final Cut Pro is a lot more optimized for video editing for things like 4K, for example, versus Premiere Pro, which is the program that I use, which requires a lot beefier of a program, of a computer rather, to just crunch through the data. But this thing just eats through 4K like butter, and I love it. But yeah, wasn't fun, kind of expensive. Yeah, very expensive. So the total comes out to be roughly $11,276.14. I say roughly because I didn't include every single purchase that I made with all the tiny accessories, but this is the majority of it, which is so much money considering I only had $14,000 left in my bank account, and I just used so much of that just to start something that guaranteed me no results. And believe it or not, my second video that I published, it was this Tesla video where I made a little commercial. It was a spec spot, as it's called, and I sat on that video an entire year before I published it, and I had the courage to release it on YouTube, because when I made it initially, I shot it on the GH4 and I wasn't happy with it because I was like, well, everyone's using better equipment and my studio doesn't look as good because I was shooting downstairs in the living room. None of this was set up already, and I just questioned every single thing I did. I didn't think I could do it, and it took me 1 year and many years before then, at least 5 years of doubting myself to start YouTube. YouTube. But just to give you a perspective, during the first 6 months of this entire year of YouTube, I made very, very little, virtually no other additional income. So you have to be kind of insane to put in so much money to take such a huge risk, and despite seeing no results, just keep grinding at it over and over and expecting to see different results. I think that's literally the definition of insanity, is doing the same thing and expecting different results. But that's exactly what I did in this case. But now that I'm in my 10th month on YouTube, I will say that last month of September was my highest earning income month, and it's just been insane because it more than covered the entire initial startup cost for starting this YouTube channel in just 1 month, which is insane. Like, to me, that's just crazy that I could do that. I don't know if I can keep it up, but it's been an incredible experience so far, and I'm excited to share with you guys exactly how much I made at the end of the year, to tally it all up and see how much it was. And guys, if you're interested in personal finance and learning about investing, then smash the like button, subscribe to this channel, and you're gonna learn a lot more. Love you guys, each and every single one of you. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you all on Friday with an exciting video. Love you, bye-bye.